Some people believe that students should be made to have unpaid jobs in their free time. Do you agree or disagree?
Few audiences have an opinion that students are to be made to do a task for free in their free time. I would certainly disagree with this statement and would like to express my notion in the below essay. Firstly, the main motivation for children to perform well depends on the monetary benefits they receive. If no wages are given to the tutees, they will lack interest in the effort that they do, and this will impact society as well as disturb them mentally. Also, since the small children will not have sufficient strength to work, there is a possibility of accidents due to which their careers will get disturbed. For example, in India, there is a law that no student below the age of 14 is not supposed to work because they will not have sufficient strength to do physical activity. Secondly, the main aim of a student is to perform well in academics and lead a decent life after his education. If people are forced to give effort for free, this will impact their academic scores and will be named a failure in society. To cite an instance, a recent study has shown that in a few countries where it is mandatory for young children to endeavor in the army have shown very poor performance in their academics. Moreover, in today's era, scholars are having very minimal free time, and if they are asked to do a job in their valuable time, they might be deprived of sleep and might face health issues. Finally, I would like to conclude by telling that scholars need to be motivated to perform well in academics, and if it is necessary for them to struggle, they should be provided with encouraging wages so that they will be happy.
The most important function of music is that it helps people reduce stress. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience.
The main outcome of listening to songs is to relax our mind and body and help us to have a pleasant day. I totally agree with this statement, and in this essay, I will support my view with some examples. Firstly, tunes help us to be active in our day. Even when we are sad, it helps us to carry on with our own work. Furthermore, it rejuvenates every cell of our body and we can do our work effectively. For instance, there has been news that a woman who was in a coma responded to the music therapy the hospital provided. It was actually a miracle, and it is proven that 75% of the people who were not responding to any foreign medicines responded to music. Additionally, the soul has a very good scope in the field of medicine. Secondly, it helps to bring out a person from depression. Nowadays, depression has become one of the greatest problems which most folks are facing in the present-day world. To illustrate, one friend uses opera as a stress buster whenever she is sad and depressed. She sings her heart out, and this actually not only helped her but especially many individuals. Moreover, the current generation is now choosing singing as an extracurricular activity, and most schools and educational institutions are providing courses related to sounds and tunes because of its ardent benefits. To conclude, the tune is like an ocean. Each and every person can implement their own version of the melody, and one will for sure get relaxed when they hear tunes of their interest.
Some people think that going to a fitness center regularly is unnecessary. Instead, they believe that combining occasional exercise, such as for walks, with a balanced diet is enough to stay healthy. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
In modern days, exercising has become an important part of our life. Some people think that staying in shape is essential to maintain their health through exercise in everyday life rather than going to a gym on a regular basis. I partly agree with this statement owing to a number of reasons that will be discussed in upcoming paragraphs. On the one hand, some individuals visit the fitness center near their houses to improve their health. This way is very helpful for them because there are a lot of different types of equipment like treadmills that we can use easily. Therefore, they will be able to spend money at the minimum if they pay some fees for the fitness centers. In addition, we can learn some skills from a trainer who has received specialized education at the gym. On the other hand, these days, however, people live hectic due to working or studying, so they do not have plenty of time to go there every day. For this reason, people tend to halt doing exercise in the fitness center. Alternatively, I contend that they should do it to stay fit in everyday life. For instance, doing jog and gymnastics is not difficult to exercise when they're leisure time in the morning and night. It can lead to effects on positive their life because they can feel satisfied when they finish the exercise that they set a goal. In conclusion, it is undoubtful that going to the gym is one of the good ways to improve their health, but I firmly believe that it is not integral to visit there. Nevertheless, they should do some light exercise to keep their health.
Some people believe that it is best to accept a bad situation, such as an unsatisfactory job or shortage of money. Others argue that it is better to try and improve such situations. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion.
Some believe the main environmental problem nowadays is the extinction of certain species, while others argue that there are more serious environmental issues. In this essay, I will discuss both perceptions and conclude with my point of view. There will be many consequences due to the extinction of certain animals or plants. The most obvious is that losing particular species will cause an imbalance in the habitat where it used to live. For example, if a predator like tigers or lions is extinct, it will lead to mass reproduction in their prey, such as cows or sheep. This phenomenon will disturb the ecosystem, which might cause more damage to the environment. However, we suffer from many natural crises these days, including global warming, air pollution, and extreme weather. These circumstances were all caused by ourselves, humans, as a result of using excessive fossil fuels, cutting down the forest, being occupied by capitalism, etc. I regard these are much more crucial and serious environmental problems than extinction that we encounter today, because these severe crises are caused by ourselves, so we are the ones who should be facing up to and making progress on it. Furthermore, there is a lot of progress we could make daily to improve the circumstances. Taking public transport instead of driving our car to work, which is an example. In conclusion, although some particular extinctions will cause damage and imbalance in the environment, I'm more convinced that natural catastrophes caused by humans are more urgent and pivotal environmental problems that should be solved by ourselves to build a sustainable world in the future.
Many students choose to take a gap year before starting university to travel or gain work experience. Do you think this is a good idea or a waste of time? Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience.
Some people are of the opinion that taking a gap year before starting a university is a good decision. In my point of view, it is a good idea because it could bring many benefits and might help to avoid many problems in the future. This essay will examine the merits of the topic and examples from my own experience and knowledge will be given. First and foremost, taking a gap year might bring humans the possibility to work in different areas such as the restaurant business, IT sphere, and others to understand which occupation is suitable for the person in addition to which major to choose. Furthermore, it could be a benefit because a number of time will be saved and an additional major would not be essential in the future. To illustrate, I took a time out between my secondary school and the educational institution to work at an IT company as a trainee. Thus, I have gotten experience in IT and I became confident that I wished to become a software engineer. Last but not least, some families do not have enough money to purchase for education and cannot start the university of their dream. Accordingly, a pause between a school and an educational institution could give extra time to earn some money to enroll in a course soon. In other words, destitute individuals increase their chances to get a bachelor's or master's degree as well as wealthy humans. To illustrate, many universities are expensive. Namely, prices could start from $50,000 per year. Therefore, people are forced to work for several months before starting an educational institution. To sum up, the advantages of a pause between a secondary school and an academy are obvious and give many possibilities. To study at a better university and finally get a decision about the occupation which will be suitable for a student.
Some people believe that young people should follow older generations' example. Others, however, disagree and believe that it's good to challenge older people's opinions and thoughts. Discuss both views and give your own opinion.
While some say that it should be helpful for us to use experiences from older people, other people argue that it is more useful to change our minds and look at them with a critical view. In my opinion, we need to combine both views depending on the situation. On the one hand, the young do not have enough experience, and the life path can become much easier if some well-known patterns of behaviors are followed. Furthermore, the most obvious example can be taken from parents and grandparents. Moreover, the elder has a huge experience and they can tell the right decisions in family questions, in case of work trouble, when you start renovating your apartment, or even about regions to live in and directions you may choose for greater well-being. Nevertheless, the older generation advises with pleasure and makes them feel significant. It is a total win-win scenario for both generations. On the other hand, if you follow someone's example, you skip the main part of your life, finding your own path. I mean, that you need to look up methods for solving problems based on your skills and opportunities. For example, if your family now has enough money to pay for famous colleges or even university, you do not have some reasons to earn money after school, like your grandparents. Especially, you do not have to get married before 25, if you have not found an appropriate partner or if you do not want to. However, our generations are different and we have to change game rules and need to adapt to the new modern world. In conclusion, there are a lot of changes in our trend and modern people must respect their past background, but have to seek their own path. Although, it is totally useful for us facing some difficulties to have opportunities to find good answers to any new questions.
Violence in playgrounds is increasing. However, it is important that parents should teach children not to hit back at bullies. Discuss both these views and give your opinion.
These days, the rate of violent behavior among teenagers has been increasing in playgrounds and schools. Some people believe that parents should encourage their children to fight back when they are bullied. I agree with this to some extent. Fighting back can have some advantages for children. In this way, they will learn how to defend themselves, and this boosts their self-esteem. For example, some students who speak with a stammer may be mocked by some of their classmates. In this case, it is important that parents teach their children how to stand up for themselves, because if they bear this misbehavior, this circumstance will continue. It is likely that they lose their confidence and feel depressed after a while. Thus, their academic performance may decrease. Nevertheless, hitting back causes some negative impacts. In other words, children who are bullied may turn to behave aggressively with other people. For instance, if they are taught by their parents to fight back, they may treat their siblings the same way at home. As a result, bullying can be common among adolescents. In addition, by fighting back, it is probable that some students are injured physically. It is important that parents encourage children to try to discuss or even call their teachers and the police in order to defend themselves. To sum up, it seems to me that although fighting back can raise children's self-esteem, it is more useful that children are encouraged not to fight back and try to discuss with their classmates or ask teachers or police to help them.
Using a computer every day can have more negative than positive effects on young children. Do you agree or disagree?
While some people think using an electronic device, especially every day, is not bad for humans and even is very useful for them, other public, as well as many experts, believe that utilizing a lot of time has a more negative effect on people. Let me discuss my opinion in the following paragraphs. To begin with, I should say that since the citizenry has different views and opinions towards each other, there has always been disagreement on this matter. For instance, some citizens think that using a computer is essential for them and they are addicted to electronic worlds. Although, they prefer to do their job and shopping or each work with a computer because they believe laptop aid us to have an easier life. On the other hand, if I want to talk about the mindset and beliefs of the second category, I have to say that they think utilizing a long date and every day is completely bad for the family. For example, after some time we will get lazy and do less physical activity, and also it is really perilous for everyone. Moreover, sometimes we do have not good internet and it is a huge problem. However, they know that electronic device is an integral part of life. In conclusion, if I want to express my opinion, I should say, since I have already researched and read about this issue, I have to say that it is clear that the best solution for this topic is for the government and people to trust the experts. That I completely agree with this of using a computer every day can have a more negative effect for users.
Both the poor and the rich find the accessibility into university difficulty. Do you agree or disagree?
Nowadays, both the destitute and the wealthy find the difficulty to study in educational institutions. In my point of view, I totally agree that studying these days is too sophisticated for both the poor and the rich humans. This topic will examine the agreement with the topic, and 2 arguments will be given. On the one hand, destitute people, who are not smart enough to earn a scholarship, have trouble with tuition fees because the education cost at top universities is increasing every day. Therefore, poor individuals are forced to start an educational institution they are not huge fans of regardless of their wishes. Namely, tuition fees at top universities today are about $50,000 per year. Thus, needy humans are not able to pay. On the other hand, wealthy people are able to pay more than $50,000 per year, and money is not a problem for them at all. However, almost all universities have essential entry examinations, and they could be complex due to the high demands on students. Consequently, riches would not support wealthy humans to start their dream educational institutions. For instance, Harvard University has a multitude of assignments candidates are forced to submit before the application form will be checked by the workers of Harvard University. To sum up, riches could be helpful to start many academies. Nevertheless, deep knowledge is a mandatory part of any educational process, and the lack of knowledge will make a number of troubles for the candidate to get higher education.
Nowadays, many people choose to be self-employed rather than to work for a company or organization. Why might this be the case? What could be the disadvantage of being self-employed?
Presently, it's believed that self-employment is far better than working in companies or organizations. Below, L will start with some reasons for these and give advantages. Firstly, the reason why individuals open businesses of their own is because of the way they were treated as employees in other organizations. For instance, many were abused and maltreated by others, which caused them to quit. Secondly, due to stereotypes and tribalism. Civilians were denied work because of their skin color and/or because they were not from the same country as their employer. By doing so, a lot of humans became unemployed, which left them with no choice but to look for any handwork to do. Many became farmers, constructors, painters, drivers, and many others. Some opened facilities such as hairdressing and restaurants just to earn a living and be able to feed their families. For that reason, many people become self-employed. Furthermore, having a company of your own has some disadvantages, like many friends and families will borrow food items and never pay, which will lead to bankruptcy. In addition, potentially long working hours. For example, instead of working 8 hours as you used to when you were staying under someone, you will spend at most 12 hours in the company to ensure every customer is served and satisfied. Additionally, you have no employee benefits such like holiday pay and sick pay. To conclude, having an art of your own is great. But on the other hand, the government should ensure that every citizen working under another should be well treated, and any misconduct should be reported and well dealt with. By doing so, the world will live as one without fear of death or hunger.